Hey guys, this is Red Silvers, and welcome back to Let's Play the Guardian Legend. We're gonna do things kind of in an odd order today, but our eventual goal will be to do Corridor 13. Right now we're rocking out to the Area 3 music, which is probably one of my favorite tracks in the game. Enough that when I made my RPG Maker game, I used this theme as the leitmotif. And with that in mind, I was curious what you people that have not played the game before thought of this game's music. It's a question that came up on the forum, and I really liked it enough that I thought I would ask it in the video itself. Now, we're doing pretty good offensively, although I'm going to go ahead and boost that just a little bit. The main disadvantage that we have is we haven't had any defensive upgrades yet, other than health. So, kind of going to do things a little odd today to help boost us up a little more. And by odd, I mean that we're going to be roaming all over the place before we do the corridor. And we're even going to do a light sequence break here. Because on this next screen is a mini-boss, and he's very difficult, and I'm not ready to fight him yet, so I'm going to just bypass him entirely. And I don't know if the game intends you to be able to do that, but it's a neat little trick you can do on most mini-boss squares. And the reason I bypassed him is to get to this red lander, which increases our chips up to 400. We're not going to get another bullet upgrade for quite some time, so this is the spread that we're stuck with. But now that we've got that lander, we can use sub-weapons and keep that added firepower. Once again, I'm going to bypass this boss because I just don't feel like handling him until after we do this corridor. But there was a reason to go past him to get that red lander. And with that in mind, we're actually going to leave Area 3 entirely and go back to our central hub. And I'm not sure that you have to do this. Like I said, this is kind of an odd way of going about it. Maybe it's a little bit sequence breaky. But the boss of the corridor can be a little tricky, and I want to take every advantage I can get. So, come back up here. And we're going to go right back to that central room that we first entered this labyrinth in. Once again, you've got those way markers. And from here, we'll go ahead and head to the north. And here is a shop. And here you see he's got an upgraded weapon for 500 chips that we can't afford. If we go down here, there's a laser upgrade for 300 chips. And we're going to go ahead and take that. Put our laser to level 2. And of course, now we're low on chips again. So unless this is a red chip, and it's not, we're going to make a detour to the P chip room. Which, since we cleared a corridor since the last time we were here, this is all ready to be retaken. And again, now it's going to be all crap. So staggering when you come here is always useful. So with that in mind, we'll head back towards Area 3. And I am still trying to get points because there will be another upgrade eventually. I think at the 300,000 mark, which I don't think we're close to hitting. But we're going to find that laser upgrade very useful for both of the corridors in this section. I love this music. Sadly, the corridor music itself, not nearly as awesome. Wail on me, why don't you? They're going to start throwing new enemies at us very soon. In fact, the corridor is going to be full of all kinds of new stuff. And these enemies that track you are always a pain. Luckily, lots of blue chips here. Get our health as high as we can before going into the corridor. Eventually, we'll go back to that shop and get the other upgrade. But for now, we're pretty decked out. So here's our entrance to Corridor 13. As well, if you come over here to the left, is Corridor 3, which we don't have the unlocking mechanism for yet. And even if we did, I wouldn't want to head into Corridor 3 yet. We do want to do Corridor 13 as soon as possible because the item we're going to get for defeating it is very useful. And right from the beginning here, you're going to see that we get the Return of the Meteorite enemies from Corridor 0, our first stage. And I think they actually do more damage now, so you have to stay on the offensive and take them out. And the nice thing there is that you'll get pickups for that. We also get these spitting enemies, and in a moment we'll see the return of the wheels from the first stage as well. And I'm just really going to more ignore them and focus on other enemies, although they are totally killable. But as you can see, this is starting to get a little bit more bullet hell than it was, and it's not really too bad. These enemies explode into fireballs as soon as they come in. We get the return of the circle meteors. So it's a lot of stuff that we've seen before coming back. But it's not too unmanageable. And I could totally use my sub-weapons and make this go a little easier, I suppose. The main thing is that I'm going to want to use that laser upgrade before too long. And it's very expensive now. But it's a very good weapon. And again, that's the one that you can only use in these corridors. It's something that only your ship form can do. I think the worst of the stage is going to come up just a little bit here when you get the spitting flowers again. And that's also your sign that you're almost to the boss. So hopefully I get a good pickup here. Oh good, give me something good. And it's time to fight the Silver Bombardier. And he fires missiles. Using the laser we can get rid of those right away. If not, then you have to sit there and deal with them. And they do give a lot of pickups. But your window to hit the boss itself is very low, and that's not a very good position to be in with him. You don't want him to be too close to the bottom of the screen, because then you can't hit him. But if you've got a weapon that can hit him when he fires the missiles, you'll get rid of them right away. Ooh, not a good spot, not a good spot. That one's alright, though. You can do this with the saber weapon as well, but I like using the laser here, since we can upgrade it and get more firepower. And since probably don't expect you to have this second laser yet, it's very manageable. And aside from the missile spam, this boss is not too difficult. The worst of it is easily the small window that you have to attack him. But using this trick makes him a lot more manageable since you don't have to deal with dodging those missiles. Come on. Well, that was a good time to be up here anyway. And this is actually going pretty well, even though I've missed the missiles a few times. If you don't deal with them, it can add up really quickly. And remember when I said I thought it was 300,000 for the next health upgrade? Clearly I was wrong. It's probably more like 500,000, but I will check and be sure. Ooh, bad spot. One bad barrage can easily wreck you pretty quickly. And you don't have to get the laser upgrade to do this. I just thought it would make this a little faster because this is a very long fight. And he just does not want me to hit him, does he? Ow! I hope that I am making all of the sub-weapons get some time in this LP. Because there's quite a variety of them. In fact, somebody was joking about that in the thread. But I think it adds a lot of variety because you have a lot of options on how you can deal with things. And having the right sub-weapon at the right time makes a big difference. I probably shouldn't have went on top of the boss right there. He does do quite a bit of collision damage. But you can definitely see how the laser is making this a lot more manageable. Without it, you'd be dodging bullets every session. Let's not go on top of him that time. But it's really just just takes time more than anything. Okay, let's see here. And honestly, I feel like they don't expect you to get this laser upgrade until after doing both of the corridors here, but hooray for minor sequence breaks. You don't even have to worry about running out of chips because he drops enough pickups that you stay fairly topped off. So, just a time-consuming battle is all. There we go. There's the 500,000 mark right there, which means we got a lot of chips in this, a lot of points in this level. So hooray for 13th hit point. When you get that upgrade, you get full health right in the middle of it, so that kind of distracted me. We really are taking a lot of points. These missiles must give a ton. Ooh, that's not a good place. I'm a little surprised at how many points I'm getting off this boss. It's a little crazy. I guess it's because all these missiles are worth a ton of points. So there you go, a good farming place. There we go. Starting to take forever. Get double our score in one boss fight. Yeah, I like that laser weapon quite a bit, though. As you can see, it was very useful for that fight. And our reward is a defense upgrade. And just in time, because now we've got our attack and our defense both at 2. That's going to help the next mini-boss fight that we have to do quite a bit. Because unfortunately, the next mini-boss may be one of the harder ones that we're going to deal with in the game. We'll go ahead and head back to our save point now and save. We've done quite a bit in this episode. But really it was preemptive, because you saw how much damage I was doing to the boss. And having a lesser weapon would have just made it take longer. And I actually experimented a bit with that boss to find the strategy that I liked. Because you can do something very similar with the saber, but you're a lot trickier to pull off because of the close range. Let's see, get a couple slivers of health here. Alrighty, and password time. So next time we'll go farm up the rest of the items here in Area 3 and get ready for the Corridor 3, which is not a very fun corridor. But until then, this is Red Silvers. You have yourself a good night.